Okay, this is lesson 26 in graphical user interface, and you have Rani Ahmed with you. Um, we'll be talking today about program events and mouse and keyboard interaction. The events, okay, happen when anything from the keyboard and the mouse is pressed. Okay, just on the press of a button of a keyboard or a mouse, okay, or the mouse movement, okay, or a combination of a keyboard, okay, something must happen, and that's an event. Okay, so in this lesson we'll be talking about using the command bind, okay, which is responsible for creating code for or helping us write code for program events, and also we'll be adding a little bit about the WM, which is the window management, okay, how your window manager, for example, on Linux, either KDE or GNOME or maybe XFCE, how TCL will ask KDE or GNOME or XFCE, or on Windows operating systems window management way, or maybe in Macintosh operating system using Coca. Okay, it will be asking the window manager how the window should look like, okay, just before doing anything else. Okay, so we'll be starting a little bit before reading the program with showing you the program running. Okay, now my program is just it will take the mouse movement, okay, and it will change the color of the label that's on the top. Okay, and I think you can see it. Okay, it will change the background color as I change the mouse movement. Okay, I can't go up, okay, that much. Okay, so see, there are places which I can't reach. Okay, they will complain because I did not program that, so sorry for that. Okay, but just understand, as much as or as long as I move my mouse, just moving without not dragging it, there's no button being pressed, okay, it will change the color of the background of the label. And if I do a double click, okay, it will say that you clicked me at the point blah blah. Okay, now okay, so I think here there should be some variables set. Okay, we'll be talking about, we'll be fixing that anyway. So before we do this, okay, before we go through the code, I must show you the bindings. Okay, now we have to first refer to the documentation before we go through the picture of the mouse. Okay, and this those are the events here. Okay, in your documentation of bind. Okay, of course you have to go to bind here. Okay, this is the PDF I'm reading from, and there are those events. Okay, and mostly we'll be using the mouse wheel, the key press and key release, and button press and button release, and the motion of the mouse, and the destroy, the focus in and focus out, and enter and leave of a window. Okay, so mouse wheel is or let me, before the mouse wheel, I have to leave it till later. First I must start with the key press and key release, which belong to the keyboard. So if you press the button of the keyboard, okay, doesn't have to be a long one or just one touch. Okay, this is a key press event. once the keyboard button is released, there will be another event, which is the key release. Okay, and if you don't care about the press or release of the keyboard, okay, the event name will be just key. Okay, this is not mentioned here. Okay, it's in the explanation, but just understand, when you have just only key, okay, it means that there is a key pressed, okay, or released. Doesn't matter what happened. Okay, that it means that there was a keyboard usage. Okay, and I have the button press and the button release of the mouse buttons. Okay, and I have just the motion without clicking anything. Okay, the motion of the mouse. Cool. So and I have also, as we said, the destroy of the window, okay, or the destroy of the widget, okay, and I have when I focus on the window, okay, now it's, for example, this window is not for being focused, it's gray here, so when I click here it gets focused. So this is focus in. When there is a focus on it, something will fire out, okay, will be fired, okay, which is an event, of course. An event will be fired. And if I just make it focus out, okay, now it's out of focus, so some other event, maybe if you programmed it, it will be fired. Now I have the enter and leave. It means like when I move the mouse and I get it to enter the window, okay, forget about me focusing the window here. Just when it just moves into the window, okay, and when it leaves the window, that's the pointer of the mouse, okay, we are talking about. So when the mouse pointer gets in the window, and leave when it gets out the window, okay. So that's all we need. Okay, the mouse wheel, you know, this is the mouse wheel. When you scroll up and scroll down with the middle button of your mouse wheel. By the way, there is also button number 3 in the mouse, which is the middle button, okay, and in Linux there's something special about the mouse wheel event. Okay, you don't use a mouse wheel event named as such mouse wheel event. You use the button press of number 5 and number 4. Okay, I don't know which is 5 or 4. You'll test it, but just understand that the 5 and 4 are the ones that go up and down, and if you have a mouse that has horizontal scrolling, it will be 6 and 7. Okay, if it's horizontal, it will be 6 and 7. So I have 1, 2, 3, which is when you button 3 is when you press deeper into the body of the mouse, okay, over the wheel. That's number 3. That's the middle button. There is a key inside it there, and we've got the 5 and 4, okay, which are the scroll up and scroll down, okay, and they're considered as normal buttons, okay, but it's just mechanically in the mouse it was designed just to be like a wheel way, so you think it's scroll up, scroll down, and there is a wheel, okay, but it's just 2 buttons and they are flipping on them, okay. So, and going now to the code, or we go now to the code. Now, okay, how we should tell that this widget should take what or which event, okay. Let's go with the movement of the mouse, okay, and the coloring of the label, okay. Of course I have this label, dot lab text hello mouse, which starts with it, but my program has already been run, so you don't see the hello mouse. Okay, you just see it right away like this. Okay, and so when I just move the mouse into the window, bind, okay, must deal with the root window, which is the dot, okay, and it should take the motion event this way. You should say I have motion, okay, and it must be between those brackets, okay. And this is the code of the event. Okay, what should happen when I move the mouse pointer? Just moving over. There's no dragging, just moving the mouse pointer over the window. So I just set the color to be expression of. Now %x and %y, okay, those are taken from the event itself. Now I should stop here a little bit and I show you from the documentation what are those constants. Okay, now look at those here. Okay, those are very significant values. Okay, you may consider them as if they are variables, but they are not variables, just values given to you. Okay, and we've got all this. Okay, so if I click on the %x and %y, okay, it will tell you the x and y fields from the event. Okay, and those are the coordinates value. So %x and %y indicate the position of the mouse pointer relative to the receiving window. Okay, so that's the %x and %y. And if we want to check more on the value of a keyboard, which key has been pressed, we can use the %k, capital K. It's very nice to use. And I have to mention one thing about %k is that the number pad enter key is different from the usual enter key to the middle of the keyboard. Okay, that's on the middle of the keyboard. It has different name. So if you'd like, just output that value and know it yourself. Okay, I'd love you to explore it. And there is also there's also %d. It tells you how much have you scrolled up or scrolled down. Okay, this is called the delta value of the mouse wheel. Okay, now in Linux you don't use the %d. Okay, especially not Linux itself. It's just X window. Okay, and that's all. So let me go back. Now I have let me see the event patterns here first. That's the one that I'm looking for. Okay, so for example, you would love to do, for example, if you want to use the control key and the button 1 key together, okay, or the alt key, on the right, I think, okay, or on the left, I don't know. This is mod 1 or mod 2. This is the alt key. Okay, and plus, for example, the button key of the mouse and mouse button number 1. So this is how you combine many keys together just to do the event that you'd like to do. Okay, so that's what he's doing here. For example, in the second event, he's saying that I have a double and a button. Okay, and which button is button number 1. Okay, you can have, for example, let's see if I can have something like this, control Alt and maybe Shift. Okay, it's up to you. So you can make all this together and just make your own combination of buttons. Okay, and you just say, mention it over here. So going back to the motion event, so I say I have set color and it's from the %x and the %y. I'm making a color, and that's just like trying to here trying to put the color in some way like acceptable, in a way that it always takes it and sets a color, doesn't complain. Okay, so this is how I set the color again. Okay, and I always configure the text of the label to be from this point. Okay, this is the background color at this point. Okay, and it will always take that color. Now this is when I just move the mouse. Okay, now here when I click on the window, it must tell you which point okay, when I double click on the window, it should tell you when or where did you double click the window. Okay, but just to fix it, I must say here is %x and %y. Okay, and this is, let's say for example, this is A and B. Okay, and I must say here A and B as variables. I said save this. I rewrite the program, or rerun the program, sorry. Okay, so this is where you double click the point. Okay, so that's all about our program. So when I double click, I send the message. When I move the mouse, I just change the color of the background of the label. Now about the WM command. Now this subcommand of the WM, okay, it sets the minimum size of the widget that you want. Okay, and the minimum size of my root window shall be always 300 pixels by 400 pixels. Okay, it's always like this when I just start the program. Now if I must show you more through the documentation. It's very important to have this documentation with you. Okay, and if you look with me, there are heaps of attributes. Okay, and I'd love you to look at them, and mainly, for example, this one, which is called the title. Where's it? This one of the title, and you just put the title of the application. Okay, maybe resizable, whether it's resizable or not. Okay, so that's all about it. Okay, and this is how you manage the window just before running your application. And thanks for watching.